We're going to dive in here to the very exciting topic for today, remote recess in collaboration with interactive media design. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to be talking about the importance of movement and ways in which really anyone, students, families, teachers, can find ways to integrate fitness and wellness in the classroom and beyond. So we're also excited to talk about this innovative offering called Fit and Flow, which is a virtual fitness program that empowers you through a wellness journey, regardless of location, age, background, or income. So excited to share all of this with you today. And I'm now going to pass it over to the amazing team behind this work. And we're going to start with CJ.
Hi, I'm CJ Roberts. I'm an implementation manager at Generation Schools, and I'm very lucky to partner with Phil and his team from IMD and to be able to present it to schools. And so I'm really excited to share it today.
All right, hey everyone. My name is Jade, Deshotel, and I am a health and wellness associate at GSN. I have a background in biology, psychology, nutrition, naturopathic medicine, so all things health and wellness pretty much. And I am super, super excited that I am able to be part of this project and to present some of our data and results that we've seen from some of our classes in our schools. So I will be talking to you guys later.
Hi guys, my name is Philip Galaviz, and thank you guys for joining us. I see there's like a handful of people here, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time to be curious and see exactly what we're going to present today. I own Interactive Media Design, and we are the video and audio production company who has created Remote Recess. And rather than me just talk about myself, I really want to introduce my team, which is Eric Galaviz and Zerek Knight.
Hey guys, Eric Galaviz here. I am the senior AV tech at IMD. I run kind of the show in the background. I'm the guy that does all the video production. I do the audio as well, do any production as far as segments goes. I'm really excited to be a part of this program. It's just been such an amazing growth for us as a company over the last year to kind of be involved with this, obviously GSN, which has been a great partner with us, and just really excited to see where this is going to go in the future. And yeah, grateful for everybody being online today.
I don't know if you wanted me to talk on this part, but I thought I was going to get in and talk to you guys in a little bit as well. But I'm Zerek Knight. Hello. Thank you for allowing us to be here and taking the time to be present with us. I am the VJ. I guess I'm the voice jockey. I also am a fitness instructor. They try to say that I'm the face behind it, but those guys that you just heard from, they do all the work. But I get to an opportunity to kind of get the kids focused on their mindset along with moving their bodies, and team up with the amazing trainers that we have all over Colorado as well, to partner and explain a little bit about their modalities as well. So super grateful to be a part of it. I love it. Like, I love seeing the feedback from the kids. So I'm super excited to see this data explained as well. Thank you.
All right, you all, I'm going to take over and kind of lead us through today's, what we have to present for you. So to give you guys an overview of what we really want you to take away is we're going to touch a little bit on how physical activity and SEL kind of intertwine, and what really got us moving in this direction with Phil and his team from Interactive Media Designs. And so we're going to touch a little bit on that. I could overload you with facts and quotes and data, and that's what we're going to do moving forward. But we really want to make sure that we connect those two with physical activity and SEL. Even in the Colorado standards, if you look through physical activity or physical education, you'll see the SEL component. And so we are really integrating our work to align with those standards for really any grade level. We're also going to talk about kind of the overview of remote recess and what it looks like as a whole and its versatility and how it can be used in so many different ways. We're going to give you a little bit of an action video something that we're really proud of. It really shows what our program can be, and it's inspirational. And in my opinion, I may be a little biased. And then at the end of it, we're just going to have a little bit of commitment. And so whatever reason you're here today, there's a reason for it. And so we're all going to join together and just kind of writing that commitment down and see where it gets us. We'll totally have time for questions and answers. Please use the chat box if anything pops up. Ellen is really going to be helping us kind of steer any direction or any questions that need to come up in the moment, but we will have plenty of time at the end for that. So if you guys will entertain me in the chat box, I'd love to know what brought you here today and why you maybe signed up for this forum. Many of you, I think, are in support of us, which shows the love out there. And yeah, I just would love to know anything. Kids Tech, hi Megan, thank you. Movement, yes. Anybody else have anything? Wanting to know more about the program, that's great. Hi CJ. Great, partnering, love it. Thank you guys. You guys can keep adding that too if anything comes up. We are hoping that we can bring something for anybody that's here, whether you're in administration, PE, or just a teacher trying to learn how to incorporate movement in their classroom. I think we can offer that all the way around. I think next slide, Ellen. So if you don't mind, again, Ellen's going to pop up a poll. And this is actually something that we use for our data collection with the students, is just how are you feeling right now? Just without even introducing what we're going to be doing or anything like that, we kind of ask, are you happy, excited, average? We tell them meh, sad, or mad. And so, you know, full disclosure, however you're feeling, put it down. Average. That's usually a typical. Happy, excited, mad. Hopefully we can change that. Cool. Thank you, thank you. So as you can see, take a mental picture of this. We've got, you know, mostly average feelings. Happy and excited, which we consider those pretty positive emotions. Sad and mad, we kind of consider a negative. Average is just meh, just in the middle. So thank you. Did I mess you up, Ellen? Sorry.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now moving on from those feelings, we're going to touch a little bit about CASEL and SEL. I'm going to pass on to Jade.
All right, thanks, DJ. Yeah, so some of you have probably heard of CASEL before, or have definitely heard of CASEL before. It's the Collaborative for Academic Social Emotional Learning, and they have actually established 5 core social emotional learning competencies. And GSN has structured its SEL program around these 5 competencies, which are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. So just taking a quick glance at this chart here, kind of getting familiar with it, what do you think the connection is between physical activity and social emotional learning? And please share your thoughts in the chat box.
As you guys are chatting, I was going to bring up that even if you look in the CDE physical activity or physical education standards, you know, there's a whole SEL component, and most of you know that that's always there. For example, in 6th grade, recognize diverse skill performance in self and in others, and how diversity affects activities, games, and sports participation. Choose to participate cooperatively and productively in group and individual physical activities. So these interaction tools are just so aligned with CASEL and SEL and kind of the overall work that Generation Schools does. And that's what we're incorporating into remote recess, is how can we encourage each other? How can we motivate each other? How can we look at our own emotions and interpret that? And how can we interpret when emotions change?
Yeah, and CJ, so the other CJ, CJ Berry, shared that physical movement supports students becoming mindful and self-aware. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
And I think we have a quote just like that.
Yeah. And if anyone else would like to continue to share in the chat box, you know, how have you witnessed physical activity in your life and how it relates to your social emotional well-being, to your physical, mental, overall well-being? Please continue to share as we present.
So even if we go bigger than the Colorado state standards, even the CDC recognizes that students who are physically active tend to have better grades, their attendance is higher, their performance cognitively is stronger, and typically their behavior in the classroom is also better. And so that is another key component of why we wanted to move forward with this skill. Even though most of us, it is personal, physical activity is a huge part in our personal lives, you know, it does relate to so many areas and so many different areas, and getting that knowledge out there is important to us. It's recognized that comprehensive school physical activity programs support physical education, which it's important to know is different than physical activity. And it really reflects around 5 components. And so physical education, physical activity during school, physical activity before and after school, staff involvement, and family are all components that really contribute to how active a student is. We really feel like remote recess aligns with that and really hits on all 5 of those components. And so we can deliver a program that is diverse and universal and can fit in any individual schedule. All schools are so different and they need different requirements, and just providing them something that doesn't fit in their schedule or doesn't fit for what they need most isn't useful. So we really are proud of the steps it's taken for us to get to this point where we can deliver a product like that to schools and to educators and to administration, to make sure that they aren't just checking the box, but feel confident that they're delivering education to their students that will last forever, not just that moment. These are tools we want to see our students carrying through their entire life. Did I miss anything there? I don't think so. So I'm going to pass it on to Jade. Has helped me and the team tremendously kind of collect this data. This has not been easy data to collect, but we have collected it and it really, really is exciting. So take it on, Jade.
Yeah, so what's really amazing is that we've been able to see these results that CJ and some of you have already mentioned. We're able to see those results and benefits firsthand. So interactive media design has led several remote recess classes with some of the schools that GSN works with. And we've collected data around student mood, both before and after each remote recess class, as well as heart rate data. And we did this because studies have shown that physical activity enhances emotions, as well as emotion recognition and executive functioning. And the scientific literature also shows that physical activity and increased heart rate greatly improve cognitive functioning, such as perceptual skills, creativity, math and verbal skills, etc. So what I'm showing here on the screen is charts from the data that we collected from one class in one cohort, just to show you an example. And our remote recess classes are 45 minutes long. And from the data collected from the students regarding mood, at the beginning of the class, 25% of the students were experiencing negative emotions, so either sadness or anger. And over just 45 minutes of movement and breathing and getting your heart rate up, their mood changed dramatically. So at the end of the class, no students reported feeling any negative emotion, and actually over 50% of the students felt happy. And that's so significant. And we also collected data, and the average student heart rate increased by nearly 40 beats per minute, excuse me. So they're also getting those benefits of increased cognitive function and those other benefits that we listed earlier. And if we go to the next slide, I just included this here as a little bonus. So what I did was take, we took the data from the pre-workout survey from the very first class, as well as the post-workout data from the very last class of the program. And we can see that the mood has changed. It's still consistently changing. So the mood increased in students from feeling mostly average, a little bit, sadness, to mostly or over half of the students feeling happy. And we're seeing this, these kind of results consistently from class to class, and we're still working on gathering that data to determine how student mood has changed over the course of the entire program across all of our schools. So if you're interested in hearing more about our results, stay tuned, because we can always share those with you when we're finished putting all the data together. So let's see, and I will pass it off to Phil to explain a little bit more about what the program is.
Sure. So it's great that you guys get to see some results, but from Zerek's perspective, my perspective, and all of us who have kind of been in the fitness world, it's kind of common sense thinking that when you move your body, something is going to shift, something is going to change. And our company has been involved in working with several professional studios, and we already know those people pay for their fitness. And recognizing that students and people who are younger really are kind of underserved, in my opinion, it gave us an opportunity to step into that realm, work with professional fitness instructors, and kind of see what these results would be. And those charts right there are showing an example of what we already kind of knew exists with adults, but is now, we can measure with students. So Remote Recess itself is just really kind of a physical fitness program, and we use multiple modalities, and Zerek can talk a little bit more about this himself because he's a coach, and we offer is just mixed modalities and a 6-week program that kind of mixes things up so students themselves don't get kind of bored, because I feel like people do have kind of a short attention span, and sometimes they're just like, well, this kind of sucks. And for me, in my generation, PE was just something you had to do all the time, and it seems like these days it's kind of it's an opt-in thing, and so if people are forced to do something, they may not see the benefits of it. And so this is where Zerek kind of comes in and motivates kids and people in general that you can do this. You don't need to look beyond yourself. You don't need to look at your neighbor and draw these comparisons. You can do this thing yourself. And when you see some sort of results, then that's what keeps you continuously going. So I'd actually like to kind of pass it over to Zerek a little bit so you can talk more about what Remote Recess is as well.
Awesome, thank you. So what I love about what Phil was going with that as well is the introduction of so many different modalities, right? I'll tell you a funny story of, I'm an ex-athlete. I played professional basketball overseas, Division I basketball, and it was only a certain type of workouts that we would do. It was more heavy lifting, right? And concentrating on different areas. So my career afterwards, I got into fitness instructing and wanted to try different things. And I remember my first yoga class, I had never taken a yoga class. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and do this little cool down stretch after I work out really hard. And I almost walked out of the yoga class. We went into Warrior 3 and my legs were shaking. And I was like, there's no way that this is that hard. I thought I was just going to just relax and stretch. So being introduced to that opened my eyes to how hard and how it worked different muscle groups in my mental aspect as well. And then me and my friend, he was a college roommate that moved out here. We went and took a bar class for the first time. We almost didn't make it through the class. Like, it was embarrassing. And the lady that was instructing the class was like 55 years old, and she was crushing it. So it gave me a different perspective of like how awesome it is to be introduced to this and how embarrassing it was, but at the same time, growth. So as I see the kids go through this, I try to keep that in mind to talk them through. Yes, you might not look awesome doing this bar class, but it's okay. You will get better. And then when they get introduced to it later, they already have some type of perspective about it. So they'll go into it differently, but also understanding that it's okay to look silly. I always tell them, and I mention it through each time, it's like a mentor of mine told me it is very hard to get better and look cool at the same time. So as I keep trying to remind them that, it's like, if you want to get better, you're going to have to embarrass yourself a little bit. And hopefully that lets the walls down and then they have fun with it instead of judging themselves and worrying about others judging them as well. So that's what I love about the overall aspect of trying different modalities. But it is just also, as you guys see, tying that, letting them know that the emotional, mental part of it is what coming from moving their body as well. Did I hit on it enough for you, Phil?
Yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to add to that is what we don't know is this. We spend so much time working on the intellect that the physical body itself knows what to do and knows how to balance itself when you do these practices, whether it's a breath technique or some sort of movement. The body knows something that the intellect doesn't know. And so that's what I think some kids may not be able to even explain why they feel different, why they feel better. But it works for me as an adult, so I know it must work for students. And so if they just do the practice, they may not have an answer as like to why they feel better, but the body itself is doing something. It's expressing itself in a way that's getting rid of this like aggression or energy that it needed to get out of, like flush through the system. And so that's what I'm also noticing as well. And so that's great that we can measure this and see how students are feeling better, but whether they can explain it or not, we know that, from our experience, that we know that the body is doing what it needs to do and it balances itself out. That's all I wanted to add. And I think from this point, what I would like to ask everybody who's involved right now is we have a video link, and rather than us like pushing the video out, so this way it could, have some sort of Zoom disruption, we want to just take a couple of minutes, and if you guys can all be able to click onto that Fit and Flow video, that's a sample of a promo video of exactly what we do. So this kind of like puts it all together kind of in a nutshell. So if everybody would just take a brief minute to click on that video, and then we'll come back.
All right. Sounds like everybody's finishing up. So as Phil and Zerek have really kind of touched in what their ambitions are for this program and what we've really trying to hit, it's been a really fun road over the last 2 years on how we started and where we have finished. And it's just, I look back and I think, wow, I mean, I don't know how we got put into this work, but I feel really, really blessed to be able to do it. And so we kind of want to give you a little bit of an experience. So you keep your cameras off, or you can turn them on and participate with us. But Zerek is going to kind of put us through like a really quick 3-minute movement, just so you can get the feel of what movement really, and really pay attention, really dive into, are you embarrassed? Are you excited? Are you like hating it? Are you loving it? Be honest with yourself and be honest with us, but just experience Zerek and his energy and enjoy.
Awesome, thank you. So again, also I want you guys to kind of be in the mind space of how you're feeling about even doing this, right? Because that's often where our kids are at. If they're at home, they're like, well, he can't see me. Are you in a restaurant? Awesome, you can have them join you. No, I'm just kidding. It's getting in that mindset of like, I'm at home, nobody might not be able to see me because I can't actually see the students, right? So I try to keep that in mind as well of like, if you don't want to participate, but if you can, please do. It's only gonna be a couple of minutes, and I don't have the awesome music that Phil usually has as well, and it gets you on beat and just gets your body going. That helps with their emotional mindset as well. So, but you guys are not far from where they're at, right? You could be sitting down. So this is almost like a body break. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys. Welcome to Fit and Flow. I'm Coach Zerek. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. I want you guys to stand right where you are. We're just gonna get warmed up and kind of get mentally into the space. I want you to focus on putting your chin down, and you're gonna move it left to right and try to keep that chin down, and you're not pulling for pain, you're just pulling for a light stretch, right? And as you focus here, keep in mind as when you're sitting down at your desk and you're looking at your screen all day, this is where we hold a lot of our attention, right? So if you ever feel like you're getting neck pain, and you're not sitting up, your shoulders are rolled back, roll those shoulders down and just slightly stretch. Now, if you feel a need to pause right to left for any reason, do that. Focus on the areas you need to. You know your body better than I do. There we go. Great. And as we come out of the neck, I want you to also focus on your traps and shoulders. So I want you to come up, squeeze, and then relax down nice and slow. Up, squeeze, and down. Great. Now work at your own pace, but I want you to also breathe during this. Good. Try not to hold your breath. Try not to breathe too fast. Good. Add a little bit of a roll and slowly come down. Great job. You guys are letting out all that tension, all that stress there. Great. We're going to pick it up, guys. Right now, we're just getting into this. You're staying seated. Good. Roll those shoulders back. Relax them. Awesome. Focus on that breathing. Great. Next, coming up, we're going to get up out of the seats. Please join in. Get out of your seats. You got to move your body. It helps you with your focus. It's going to help you get that heart rate up. Cool. So I'm going to move this back so you guys can see. But you got chairs behind you, right? So from here, I want you to come down, touch your knee, toe, knee. I want you to reach up high and calf raise. Knee, toe, knee, calf raise. Knee, toe, knee, calf raise. Now your knees are slightly bent when you're reaching down towards your toes. If you cannot touch your toes, that's totally fine. Move at your own pace right now. Good, full body. You're getting those knee, toe, knee, reach up high above your head and calf raise. You want to reach those hands up high because you want that blood to try to flow up. Even though it can't, you want those arms moving. When those muscles move, it attracts some blood flow. Come on. There we go. Great. We got to work that torso too, right? Your hips are tight. You've been sitting down all day. I want you to come into a squat, come up, twist left, back down, squat, come up, twist right. Great job. Your hands can be in the prayer position or just hold them up. Great job. Squat. As you're coming down in your squat, imagine you're sitting your butt down onto the chair. If you can't tap it, that's fine. Push through your heels. Great job. When you squat, you should be able to wiggle those toes a little bit. There we go. Stay with me. We're almost through, guys. Now you're picking it up. You're breathing a little bit. Remember, you don't have to look cool doing this. You just have to feel better once you're done. Great job. All right, this is the last one to get your heart rate up. I want you to come down into a squat, and you're just going to punch. Move those arms, right, left, right, left, right, left. Keep those elbows in tight. Come on, push yourself. Good. Now you're getting that heart rate up. Now you're breathing a little more. Come on, 10 more seconds. You're almost done. Do not give up. Finish it. Finish it. Come on for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, recover. Great job. Shake it out. 3, controlled deep breaths. Yes, Ellen, you are standing up. I love that. There we go. Who else is standing up? Mallory, great job. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Great job. One more time. In through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Last one. One more time. In and out. Great job, guys. High five. Show yourself some love. Air high fives. Great job. All right. Imagine you just did 3 minutes or less. We usually do a 15-minute body break. You feel better. You're smiling. I like to crack jokes. You got the music going. That's what helps that transformation of energy, right? So thank you guys for joining me. Great sports. Awesome. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Thanks, Zerek. And like he said, that's just a little touch of what the magic that he brings and the team brings to these kids, and especially in this climate and what they've been going through, whether they've been, at home or whether they're in cohorts with masks and separation, it all has been contributing to improving their mood. So Ellen's going to pop up a poll, and in this moment, take a quick 5 seconds and just really be honest and let us know how you feel. Awesome. So as you can see, that excited has now moved into a positive direction, into excited, into happy. And it's very easy for situations like this, or even movement, or just, I don't know about you guys, but stretching my neck like that changes my mood tremendously, because we don't realize where we're carrying our tension or where we are stressing. And these kids are the same way. It's not any different. Their stress is just different. So it's really important that we recognize just small things like this go a long way. What we'd like to do in our next slide is offer you all 4 15-minute movement breaks for free. And in return, all we ask is just some feedback. So right now, currently our program looks like a 45-minute class. We've got several on-demand classes that can be used in various ways. Our favorite way is having Zerek live with your students. That's our favorite way to do it. We do these live broadcasts directly to your school. We get to know kids' names. We get to interact with teachers and get to know how things are going. I think the feedback from our educators has been tremendous. They've really shared with us what works, what doesn't work, how it helps their job, how it helps them get through educating certain bits or certain pieces to their curriculum. And so that's like our favorite way and our best way. We can also just provide you with a database that you can use when you need to use it. And this 15-minute brain break is kind of new, what we're really trying out. And what we really want to see is, can teachers pull these up in the moment when they're really dealing with mood, right? When the kids are just down, it's Wednesday, they still have 2 more days till the weekend, and they're just struggling. We really want to know if these movement pieces can help educators, not just physical educators. And so what we would like to do is, there will be a link in the chat to just give us some of your information. And if you are interested in either a full 6-week session, a semester, a full year, we can break it down. And then, or if you're interested in the 15-minute movement breaks, we would really like to get some feedback. So we're just asking that you use those 4 classes within 2 weeks, and I will send a survey for you to fill out and give us some feedback on. Phil, is there anything you'd like to add with this piece?
No, I think you really covered it. They'll be able to get the link from you if they want to, sign up for it. And no, I can't think of anything else on this slide.
Awesome. I am just really thankful for those of you that showed up and experienced this with us. And Phil and I laugh all the time because we could talk for hours on this stuff and we get sidetracked very easily. So we know there's probably some questions out there, and we would love, love, love to answer them. If you want to throw them in the chat, or if you want to take yourself off mute, we will share some answers with you guys. And then we're going to follow into our commitment, and we have some following resources. So we will still stick around for quite a bit. It will be a really good sign if you guys don't have any questions, because then we did a good job. One thing I'd like to add too is, when Phil and Generation Schools first partnered, we really got the opportunity through the Colorado Health Foundation for an after-school program. And that's where we ended up really starting. We also have a whole side of this program that involves headphones, which is a whole awesome experience in itself. And that will be available, when COVID is a little bit less of a deterrent. But through COVID, as negative as it has been in several areas, it really allowed us the flexibility to change with with Colorado Health Foundation. They were super supportive with us, and they just allowed us to make the changes that schools really needed. And that was the biggest thing, is we wanted to meet the schools where it was most needed, and we were able to do that. And so that's kind of where we got today. That's where we were able to create on-demand videos of all sorts of fitness instructors in the Denver area. They are amazing. I can't say it enough how just awesome these instructors are. They're very, very interactive. And so you always see Zerek, he will always open up and close for us. And then he will bring in these different instructors doing different modalities. So kickboxing, bar, dance, Latin dance, all sorts of stuff like that. So no one class in a 6-week session, no one class is the same.
CJ, we did have one question in the chat box. I'm not a classroom teacher, I'm support staff, but can I give my access to a friend?
Yeah, the only thing that I ask is that I get some type of contact information so that I can just share up with some feedback. That's the biggest thing we want, is just how can we make any adjustments and how can we fit to an educator's advice in the classroom. So if you wouldn't mind that, and if she wouldn't mind me reaching out with the login information, I'm happy to do that, and I would have no problem with that. Any other questions?
You know, I have one thing that I'd love to add is, you know, with all of you guys who are participating in this, we're all adults here, right? So we have access to this kind of stuff ourselves in the retail setting where adults can pay for their fitness. That's one thing, but we're offering this like professional experience to students. And so, you know, the thing that we're really proud of is we're putting out a professional product that would be accessible to adults normally, right? And so for everybody who's participating, whether you are, I don't know who's on right now, whether you're a facilitator, whether you're somebody that's involved in education, whether you're just a parent, if my big ask is that if you can just share this information with 4 or 5 other people that you know that are in this space. We really don't want to be, you know, Colorado's best kept secret. You know, CJ and I talk about this in Generation Schools, and I talk about this all the time, that we really can't get any traction unless more people know about it. And once they get a chance to experience it, the students, the kids themselves, they usually will participate more. It's, you know, we're signed on with another school that we're going to be doing a contract with in a week, and they sent us what their fitness deck looks like, and it's pretty good. I mean, considering that we're doing remote classes, they offer this deck that says, here's your list of movements that you have to do, and then they launch a video, whether it's like a Zumba class or a Taibo class. That's great, but the thing that we can add that's kind of different that creates that motivation is Zerek, right? So, you know, my big ask is that once you've seen this, and if this is, if you're interested or you're curious about it, or even if this doesn't fit your purpose, if you can just share it with somebody that could actually utilize this and reach back out to Generation Schools, and we can be in these schools, I think that's going to spread, and that's what we really need. Is we're planting that seed right now, but we would really like to expand this next year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think Ellen is going to be sharing with those that have joined, going to be sharing these slides. So it'll come with all the links that you all can pass on. And so that kind of goes to our next slide, which is commitments. And we are always in support of people achieving their goals and their dreams. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So to yourself or on a piece of paper, whatever you prefer, what's a piece of information you would want to remember from this presentation? And what is something you want to do? So when I receive your email information, I will reach out to you with free content. That is mine. And if you'd like to share, we'd love to hear what your commitments are. It may not even be really to this, but we're just happy to share this information with you. But if you would like to share, we'd love to see it.
For me, I just wanted to share really quickly how important context matters. Having someone like Zerek show up for us and bring the energy and bring the motivation. I can sit here all day and tell myself I'm going to stand up and do 5 jumping jacks, but it's most likely not going to happen until I play some kind of music or I have someone up on YouTube. Maybe it's, you know, my roommate downstairs comes up and does the jumping jacks with me. So I see like such an amazing opportunity to do this in a space with, whether it's other adults, whether it's your classmates, to just build that energy and that motivation together. And I just felt that with Zerek, even within the 5 minutes that he led us through this activity. So I'm just so appreciative of him. And I wish that there was just more of you everywhere that I go. It's just, yeah, it's so critical. So thank you for that.
We had a good question about, if I click certain information, will I get, basically, you guys, if you click either one, I'm going to reach out personally and just see where we can help you the most. So, that's what I love about this program, is it is tailored to your school, to your individual program. And it's really nice right now because we can do that. And so yeah, if you're interested in just the free content, just click that. If you're interested in knowing more about the curriculum side and adding it to your curriculum, click the second option. I will reach out no matter what, and just have a personal conversation, just see what your vision is. It may not be this year, it may be in the future, or it may be now and it may not be later. So we understand that. We know what you guys are going through as educators, and we're just here to help as best as possible. So
this is Eric again. I do want to add kind of something to what Ellen had mentioned just earlier. Just being a part of this program and seeing Zerek and the transformation, even in his personality, with how he navigates the kids and how he connects with the kids, just how personal it is. Like you had mentioned, it had already been mentioned. I mean, you could put on a video, and the video is great. Yeah, you're getting that, but the personality that comes along with what Zerek does, and how he really connects the fitness to, really relational things for them, what was going on, especially when COVID first hit, when elections were on. I mean, there was stress everywhere, and there's people in their homes probably that were stressed out and dealing with a bunch of stuff, and he was able to speak to those things firsthand in real time and just connect a sense of peace and a sense of like, hey, there's struggles going on out there, there's this going on in the world, but you don't have to be a part of this right now in this moment. You can center up, you can be a part of this and feel how you feel afterwards. And seeing how that really translated, and his personality, as you all can see very well, it's just genuine, it's real. And he talks to a lot of things that are very real and that are happening. And again, it wasn't really mentioned here, but we kind of came up with these, actually Zerek, I can't say we, Zerek came up with these kind of emotional cues every week. It was kind of a theme for the week, and those themes for the week were very valid, and it gave talking points for the instructors, for the people to kind of have something to share with each other about how they're feeling, something that was going on. Also just like learning, like protecting your space was one of them, accountability, things that are really core values as humans that maybe get washed out. And I think that's really just a testament to this program, because I just don't see that happening. I'm pretty invested in fitness, financially and otherwise, and emotionally, and just to have that type of thing, you just don't even get in necessarily trainers sometimes that are going to speak that deeply into somebody. And so I think that's a huge piece that we can't even translate on in this time that we're together. It only gets translated in the moment, and I think those moments are very special.
I couldn't agree more, Eric. Very well said, and so true. I think Ellen has some resources that she'd like to share with everybody too.
Yes, thanks, EJ. So I'll have Phil share in just a moment, but just a couple of quick things from Generation Schools. So we have some social emotional learning units that are available, and we'll send those actually for free access. We have them specifically on physical activity and mindfulness. And so we'll make sure to send those out in the follow-up email. And this, you will get the slide deck. So you'll have access to all of these hyperlinks. We have a SEL newsletter that goes out monthly that shares updates on these forums, on opportunities like remote recess. So please feel free to sign up. There's a link here to do that. There's also a link to find future forums we'll have those happen pretty much every month as well. We do offer within our social emotional learning programming. So we have the curriculum, and then we also can provide support and training, sort of like what we did today. So if you're interested in learning more about that, please let us know. And then Phil, do you mind just briefly talking about some of the exciting events that are happening this summer?
Yeah, so starting last year, we collaborated with multiple studios. We normally do this on a regular basis, but with COVID, we ended up getting hired to use our headphones. We have headphone technology. So if anybody on this call is familiar with a silent disco, it's where you would go to an event and you're given headphones and you get to listen to three different DJs played three different styles of music, right? So we took advantage of that technology and we like applied it towards fitness and yoga and meditation. And it's been a really fun experience, and we do it out in the parks. So we'll give you guys links for pop-up in the parks, and we're going to be at Congress Park, City Park, Sloan's Lake, and Civic Center Park all summer. Each of those weeks we'll be offering, over at Civic Center Park, we'll be offering free classes, but the other ones will be kind of paid classes, but we're really just offering it up. And if any of you guys have kids, we absolutely welcome kids. It's really a great experience, and we're really looking forward to being back out in the park this summer.
Zerek, did you have one more thing to say?
Yes, awesome, thank you. And man, I almost was tearing up over here. You guys are awesome. I want to offer a perspective of, like, from me dealing with adults and kids, because I used to train kids with basketball skills and training as well. Still do, but one thing that I've learned is, like, an adult that is intimidated by working out, because we come into it's a lot of adults right there come into the gyms and they're like, I don't want to go to a gym, or I don't want this, I don't want to do it. I've had people tell me, I'm going to get in shape before I get with you. I was like, that's not the purpose. Like, I'm here to help, right? Because they're embarrassed, right? And then an adult that doesn't know how to take care of themselves was just a kid that was never taught, right? There was just a kid that was never taught. So I love the fact of what remote recess, we get to get kids that are in middle school, that are in high school, and start to take that away from that. They get to focus on not being intimidated, because they'll have some understanding of working out and have some confidence in working out and being able to work out around other people, so they can walk into a gym setting with more confidence. They'll also learn the importance of how they feel and the importance of how to take care of themselves. Self-love, it's a big part of it, right? Knowing to make time, because we're not taught that. We're taught to work harder on our jobs than we are ourselves. So if we can teach them early enough to work harder on themselves, they'll be better at their jobs. They'll be better at their schoolwork. If they take that little moment to do that, it'd be more productive for them later on in life. So that's a major perspective that I want everyone to kind of take away, is like, if we can introduce kids with this early, it's going to have such a larger benefit for them later on in life. So thank you.
And if that doesn't give you even more of an inspiration of what these kids are getting when they get Zerek, that's it. And it's the truth. And he's so right in my experience as well. The earlier we get these kids involved and comfortable with movement and being uncomfortable, it's just, man, their life is just set up a lot better. And what we would really like is some feedback. So I'm going to give it back to you, Ellen, with what you need back from this forum.
Yeah, of course. So Jade's going to just share a quick link in the chat box. We would love to hear your feedback about today, how the forum went, how we can improve upon our forums and what we include. But just, if you don't mind just taking a couple of minutes to fill that out. We really appreciate you guys so much for being here today. I am just feeling so inspired, and I feel so honored to work with these amazing people in this group. And so would love to know that this is being spread across the state of Colorado, across the nation. Like, this is the work that needs to continue on. And so please don't hesitate to reach out. We want to hear from all of you. And that's all we have. Thank you. Thank you again for being here.
With 2 minutes to spare.
Yeah, look at that. We appreciate all of you and hope to see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Everyone.
Thank you, everyone.